Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Rush Roundtable. Today we have a fun one to kind of break up the Presto song discussions. This is songs that we would play to get us pumped up for a sports ball game, as everyone calls it these days. So it's a very generic topic. We're each going to choose 3 songs. We're going to go around the roundtable 3 times that we would use to pump us up if we were playing in, any kind of sports game, or, pump us up for a sports event. As the Super Bowl is right around the corner, we thought this was a good time for this topic that was suggested to me years and years and years ago. So I'm going to take some notes. I'm going to build a Spotify playlist with all of our choices that, we'll link to in the description and, in all of our channels. And have a brand new panelist, Nick, in the top left-hand corner from Toronto. And he is going to go first. So go ahead and give us your number 3.
Awesome. My number 3. Well, I first want to say thank you for you guys having me on. And
Absolutely.
I play hockey. I've been playing hockey for the last 20 years, and maybe a mentally tough position. I'm a goalie. So playing and listening to Rush really gets me motivated and gets me going. And my number 3 song is Far Cry off Snakes and Arrows. And I feel it's just a real hard driving song. And I love the lyrics in it. One day you feel you're on top of the world, and the next day it's falling in on you. And I
That's a
can
goalie.
relate to those lyrics as a goalie, because one day you're on your top of your game, and the next day you can feel good. It's just not working out for you. And then I could almost switch that over to another aspect, is like you could almost see the circuits blowing. You could almost feel the current flowing, and like your adrenaline rushing through. And that song just like one of those things that pumps me up to get going.
That's an awesome choice. I love the description too. I am in a non-contact sport. I love to play golf. So these are to pump me up for golf. Is that even necessary? I don't know, but it works for me. My number 3 off Power Windows is Grand Designs. Now, why does this pump me up? I don't know. The 3 songs I chose are kind of dancey, poppy-ish songs. Those are generally the ones that I use to get pumped up. So Grand Designs, I think, the guitar solo really pumps me up. Getty's vocals pump me up. And really the outro, where Getty's just, oh, like that over and over and over again, for some reason, just gets me excited. And it just gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. So I do use that to pump me up, on the range, in the car, on the way to the golf course. I don't know, just whatever. So, yeah, that's my number 3 is Grand Designs. So, Derek, your number 3.
All right. So I had to go with a song from the first album. A lot of great heavy rockers to really get you pumped. I actually chose Take a Friend. I thought of this as like a theme of like getting your friends together, going to a tailgating party. And I actually kind of like a story almost. The 3 songs I picked kind of go in a certain order. But Take a Friend, a great pumping song. Grab some friends, go ahead, and just get ready for the game.
Nice.
Everyone's favorite Rush song, right?
I feel like that was directed right at me, right?
Just a little bit.
Cool. Steve, you're number 3.
All right. I was a AAA travel hockey player growing up, 1980 year birth. Thought I was a really great player. I was a really good high school hockey player in Buffalo, but I was high school good, right? I probably could have played some junior B or low level junior A after college or after high school, and maybe been able to play like SUNYAC, D3, something like that. But I got accepted to Syracuse, went there. So I haven't played a meaningful ice hockey game in a long time. Although I did play competitive roller hockey as an adult and played some big games there. So I've been in the locker room for some big games. They're big to me anyway. And I did this. I had the Discman that I would carry around, and I would burn myself CDs because that's what we had then. And one of the ones that was definitely on my list was Dreamline, just because it got me in a place to think about what might happen that day. The song makes me dream. And sometimes in the locker room before a game, I would put Dreamline on and close my eyes and just kind of visualize what was going to happen out there, what heroic efforts I was going to make to lead my school or my travel team at the time to glory. But I was high school good, and I was high school Rush, their NHL good, but I was only high school good. But their songs certainly helped, and Dreamline would be my number 3.
Good stuff. So far, we're building a pretty good playlist on its own without having to reorganize these songs. So, Nick, what's your number 3?
All right, I'm gonna go with Headlong Flight. Specifically, it has to be live. I don't want studio anything. I want live.
Knew
It's
that
going
was
to
coming.
sound better. It's going to be louder. It's going to be more intense. There's going to be some audience behind it. Because there's
Which
nothing
version?
more I want than when I. Ooh, that's a good question. We're going to go with Clockwork Angels because our 40 version's trash. So, you're running on the field or you're about to head to the cage. You're about to get in your underwear and fight another grown man in a steel cage. Like, you need to be ready to go. So I think Headlong Flight is perfect for any situation where you're about to rush the field to physically, go after someone.
So you're a cage fighter.
No, I just like watching cage fighting.
Okay.
I'm like most MMA fans. I don't actually fight.
Okay.
But I love it.
All right, so Knicks are
And
all
for the
going to be
record, I
live.
would have loved to have seen GSP Canada's Own run out to Headlong Flight. That'd have been intense.
That'd been cool. Yeah.
There we go. All right,
good stuff. Other Nick, back to you, number 2.
All right, back to my second choice. Kind of going backwards from this last album it chose, but now I'm choosing One Little Victory off Vapor Trails. Like nothing gets you fired up as that double bass drum intro and just heavy hitting song. Another starter song, actually, to make a note on that. But like to celebrate the moment, like you don't know in sports, you celebrate all sorts of moments. A chance at victory, then the lyrics, another chance to score. Like in hockey, that just like I remember putting those headphones in and listening to that in a final game, and like just really got my blood flowing. The greatest act can be a certain measure of tolerance, a willingness to rise above. It's just like it's almost like making the big leagues in a sense. Like you want to be the best you could be out there in any sport, really. But like for me, just so happens to be like playing hockey. It's just like that song just gets me going.
Yeah, that's a wonderful pick. I almost assumed that might be on everyone's list. So we'll see. But for me, my number 2 is from Roll the Bones. It's Face Up, and it's kind of random. I saw Nick's face there. Go back and rewind and watch his face. Yeah, it was the face of confusion.
playing poker.
What? Yeah,
playing poker. That's the only thing that makes sense. You playing poker?
No, I just like I don't know. A year ago, on my way to get coffee, in the morning I listened to this song. I'm not even kidding you, 10 times in a row. It was one of those things. I was just that guy that listened to the same song 10 times in a row, and it was this song, and I don't know why, but it just got me so excited. And it's so bouncy. Like I was folding laundry the other day, and I'm just like dancing all over the place, like poorly, but yeah, it's just a song that gets me excited. Not for any lyrical reason, just because I think it's
catchy.
It's a catchy tune, yeah, and it's not like it's some hard hitting tune or anything like some of the songs you guys picked. It's just catchy, and it just gets the blood flowing. It just gets me moving and gets me amped up.
It's a very underrated song. Like I wish they played that live.
Yeah, it's a song that kind of not to drift too far away from the topic, but it's a song that really stemmed the whole Roll the Bones theme and all that. And it was a song that, turned the wild card down, which is what kind of brought that whole Roll the Bones theme on. Go watch that interview with Neil. But yeah. But then it just never, I feel like it just fell flat on its face, that song, once the album came out, right? There's so many other songs that people liked. But yeah, it's a song for me that I've always liked, and good pump up song. So Derek, you're number 2.
All right, so I had One Little Victory as well, but since Nick already took that, I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to switch it to Animate. Now, this song is a great one with Neil's drum opening, and then the bass kicks in, and it's just such a hard rocker to start off the whole Counterparts record, and it gets you pumped. One of my favorite songs for sure.
Nice. That's a good choice.
Great choice.
Yeah, great choice. Steve, number 2.
I also had one little victory, so I'm gonna swap it out here, and I'm gonna put "Driven" from Test for Echo. Just love the energy of the song. Makes me feel like skating. As a hockey player, it just makes me feel like moving my legs a little bit faster, being a little bit stronger. Makes me feel like taking a hit in the corner and getting out of the corner and burning.
Back checking.
Yeah, back checking. Just gives me that. I think it's a great hockey song, and it makes me feel excited, and it makes me want to work hard. I feel like the band's working hard playing it, and it makes me want to work hard in the game. So "Driven" is my number 2 from Test for Echo. A great record.
Good stuff.
Yep.
Nick is thinking. I feel like he's doing this assignment on the spot. What do you got for number 2?
Yeah, so I'm going A Passage to Bangkok, specifically off of Snakes and Arrows Live. The reason why we are is because, it would fit guys like Martavis Bryant, Nate Diaz, Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of great athletes, and I just, when I'm at an event and I'm at like the first Steeler game of the season, the high from being at a game is just second to none. And I just love some, heavy duty high. It's good stuff.
There you go.
I loved Martavis, man. He was a great player.
For a minute.
Yeah, for a season. All right, so we're gonna go back through one more time with our number 1 picks, the songs that we would use to pump us up for a sports ball game. Number 1. Other Nick, you're up.
All right, my number 1, a little bit of a step back, but it's one of my favorite songs off Power Windows. It's "Marathon." Song just drives me to do my best, and when I want to achieve a goal, and it's hard to reach, I kind of listen to that song. It's a test of ultimate will. Heartbreak, climb uphill. Got to pick up the pace if you want to stay in the race. I just feed off this song, and it's come into my life a lot of times when I've gone through a hard time and then overcome it. And from first to last, the peak has never passed. And you could do a lot in a lifetime. That's a big one for me, to just get out there and do your best, and you could achieve anything. I love the drive of the song, and then the way at the end, how it crescendos. And on another note, it's one of my favorites to play live on guitar, off the A Show of Hands album. Love that one.
Yeah, awesome
Great
choice.
pick.
Definitely one that I considered myself. So my number 1 is from Vapor Trails. It is not One Little Victory. It is the song that comes after One Little Victory. It's "Ceiling Unlimited." And I know what this is about, the whole clouds and all that type of deal. But to me, it kind of takes on an alternative meaning when I'm using it to pump myself up for a sports game. So people say something is the ceiling, they're trying to reach the ceiling, they're trying to reach the pinnacle, they're trying to reach, be the best. And then unlimited is like that. It's like a metaphor for me wanting to do my best, right? And the repetitive, winding like an ancient river, the time is now again at the end of the song. It's repetitive, a lot like how Grand Designs is repetitive at the end of the song, even though that's just Getty saying "oh." But the repetitive nature of this song gets me pumped, because it doesn't make me think about singing lyrics. I don't have to, try to think of what the lyrics are. It's just it's very repetitive, and that type of thing just gets me going. It gets me excited to, listen to that song. Now, specifically the remixed one, because there's a guitar solo that Alex plays on that, that is sorely missed in the original, but and the original, or rather the remixed version, to me just sounds better of this song in particular. But so yeah, number 1 is "Ceiling Unlimited." So Derek, your number 1.
All right. Well, I had "Driven" as my number 1, but since that was taken, I decided to go with "Anthem" from Fly By Night. Just the lyrical themes about this song, and I just love how it starts in one riff and then it transforms into another riff, and then you get that amazing Alex Lifeson solo in the middle. It's perfection to me, and that would probably be definitely my number one for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I could consider that one.
So did I.
All
Good
right,
choice.
Steve, you're number one.
All right. I can't do this without a friend. Hold on here. Let me do this real quick. Quick reveal. Hold on. All right.
Uh-oh.
This can be part of my minute too.
Got to be Rivendell.
That's
So
my
Steve's
favorite
number
one.
one. Is
When I
Chokes
was
me out.
when I was much younger and much thinner, got my jersey. This one doesn't have I got my A here, my senior year jersey, but my number one's Fly By Night. Always pumped me up. Listening to Fly By Night, would play it before games all the time. Again, it's a song that just makes me want to skate and skate fast. The idea of going from one place to another, just going makes you think of like going end to end. I did really strongly think about YYZ because of the Hockey Connection and the slap shot sampling there, but I'm not an instrumental guy, so I wanted to go with lyrics, and I got my high school jerseys on because I'm like Al Bundy. I peaked in high school athletically, but Fly By Night will be my number one.
Nice.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, Nick, you're number one.
Well, my number one's going to really make a lot of hardcores mad about this. I'm really sorry, but I have to say it in a very specific recording. I'm going with Tom Sawyer, specifically off of Rio, because of two reasons. Number one, when you go to a game, what's the best part about live sports? The crowd.
Noise, yeah.
So when you go to a game, or when you're at a game, when you run on the field, nothing's better than the crowd. And probably the only time where like I actually was like, wow, I really want to hear Tom Sawyer is when I was at a concert with a crowd. And in Rio, they opened with that. And it was like the crowd's just like waiting, they're waiting and they're so excited. And like you can feel the tension. And as soon as that first note hits, they're losing it. And so that's why I go with that. Number two, the reason why I go with it is because it's probably the only Rush song I ever hear when I actually go to live sporting events. So we got to have the one that's actually played at live sporting events, other than the few times that, someone sends me a clip of what's his face for the Mets walking up to the plate to Working Man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. What the hell's his name?
It's really going to bother me because I want the Pirates to get him, but
it's not the Canadian guy, is it? Bluehost?
No. It's
no, he's on the Cardinal.
The big slugger, right? Pete.
Pete
Alonso.
Pete Alonso.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yes,
there you go.
shout out Pete Alonso. So yeah. So Tom Sawyer is my number one in that regard.
That Russian Rio disc, like the fans are almost like the fourth band member on that show too. I think I read they kind of like produced and liked it a little differently than the other live albums to kind of showcase that crowd. So if you're looking for people cheering, I feel like that's the perfect version too.
All right, so I promised these guys before the recording that we would go through honorable mentions at the end. This won't be a part of the playlist. I won't put these as part of the playlist, but we will go through some honorable mentions that we may have considered without explanation. So just tell us the songs, other songs you considered. Nick?
The guitar riff, Analog Kid. Just a real hard driving song, fun song to play on guitar. Pumps me up every time.
All right. I considered that were not already talked about on the list. I considered Secret Touch, Carve Away the Stone, and Red Barchetta. Derek, which songs did you consider?
I considered Finding My Way, Stick It Out, and The Trees.
Okay. Steve, any other ones you considered?
Yeah, like I said, One Little Victory was on my list. Animate and something else I can't see what I crossed off. There's another one someone said was on my list. And then The Necromancer was one I considered because it's just got that story of like triumph and thinking about the opponents as being like the thing that we need to banish and to get rid of. And I know it's you only got maybe you only need one song. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, no explanations. My bad. And I'm surprised Ryan and Derek, you guys didn't pick Renegade. I thought one of you guys might pick it, even though it's not a Rush song.
Nick,
but, you know.
yeah, Nick, you mean?
Or Nick,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Derek. There's two
Yeah.
Dereks and it's a Nick. That was a Steelers joke.
Steelers, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, Nick.
Well, I was really thinking about Madrigal, Tears, and Different Strings. Just three really like, hard pressing, emotional songs. When I listen to them, I'm ready to go. Like, it's go time. Like, I'm ready to let's do. Why are you laughing? I get. Yeah, thank you. See what I mean? It's emotional.
What'd you say?
Like
Tears, Different Strings, and what?
Madrigal, Tears, and Different Strings.
Madrigal, Tears, and Different Strings.
Yeah, I put them on. I'm ready to go. Sometimes I add Rivendell in there. Rivendell, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like, when I'm going into a game, like, I think back on Lord of the Rings and, like, I mean, you're getting ready to go to war with Sauron. Ryan, like, did you, like, what's up?
It's just funny to me.
If you want to pop the boys too, you throw Tears on in the locker room before the game, and the whole team is just jacked.
Yeah, everybody's
you know what I mean?
let's
the
go.
whole locker room.
I love it.
Let's go. Yeah, it's go time.
Last thing I wanted to do before we wrap is there any songs that you guys feel as a group should be on the list that we may have missed? Is there one song we can agree on that should be on the list that no one said?
I'm gonna say it before anybody else. YYZ, come on now.
Yeah,
we're all thinking that YYZ. And
YYZ or Xanadu.
That was the one that I didn't pick. YYZ. That if it had 3 lyrics in it, I probably would have. But I just didn't want to pick an instrumental.
And I'm putting it right after. I'm putting the Snakes and Arrows version right after the Snakes and Arrows version of
You want the Snakes and Arrows version of YYZ versus the
it has to be it has to be the real one because the
Rio
snapshot, right?
Rio's great, but the reason why I put it right after if it's so perfect after Passage to Bangkok because you play both back to back. But yeah, Rio is. I mean, if you're playing it individually, yeah, Rio's the one because I mean.
So what do we want to do here? Which one do we want to put and where in our playlist?
I think if we're doing live, he's right about the Rio.
Yeah,
we're doing live.
So we want to put the Rio one and put it after Tom Sawyer at the end of the playlist, or what? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All righty. Far Cry, Grand Designs, Take a Friend, Dreamline, Headlong Flight from Clockwork Angels Live. One Little Victory. By the way, original or remix do you prefer?
The remix version.
I think Spotify only has the remix, but okay. Face Up, Animate, Driven, Bangkok from Snakes and Arrows, Marathon, Ceiling Unlimited, Anthem, Fly By Night, Tom Sawyer, and YYZ, both from Rio. So there's our playlist.
And Rivendell.
And Rivendell, Magical Tears, and Different Strings. So anyone that wants to download this playlist or whatever, go on our Spotify link, and will be in the description. And those that are watching the Super Bowl, or in Rush terms, as I like to call it, through Superb Owl for Fly By Night, let us know in the comments who you got, Chiefs or Eagles.
Saints.
Yeah.
Shout out Nick Sirianni.
There you go. Didn't you go to school with him or something? Or didn't you
graduated from the same college as me? So
there you go.
Gotta give some love to Sirianni.
Cool. All right. Next week. Who's
Go
Paula?
Sox.
Who's Paula? What am I missing here?
Just giving my daughter a shout out.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'd be in trouble.
Okay. Next week we'll dive back into Presto. We'll see you then. Take care, everybody.